Hey everyone, Komel here. Today I'm going to be breaking down the exact business model that took me from zero to more than $25,000 per month faster than you last in bed. Let's dive right in. The agency model that I'm talking about is called a LinkedIn acquisition agency, and I broke this down into two different parts. The first part being the agency model itself, and then the second part being the pipeline. Now, the agency model has four different subparts to it, okay? The first part being the niche that I operated in, okay? And then the second part being the problem that I solved, and then the third part being the solution that I provided for the problem, and then the fourth part being my exact offer. Okay. Now after working with a bunch of different niches, right, I can confidently say that the highest paying industries in this entire business model are AI automation agencies and the SaaS space. Now you probably are already familiar with AI automation industries, so I don't have to explain that much, but SaaS is where a bunch of confusion happens. SaaS stands for software as a service, okay? And what this means is, for example, let's say Netflix or YouTube Premium, or how about Canva, right? Now, Netflix, YouTube Premium, Canva, those are all softwares that are sold to you as a service for you to benefit off of, okay? YouTube Premium and Netflix for product, for dopamine, whatever, all that shit, and then Canva for design, right? So those are just some examples of SaaS founders, okay? And in all honesty, working with AI automation agencies and SaaS founders has generated me the most amount of money, and they're very flexible to work with because the people that they want to sell to are also active on LinkedIn, which is why it's the perfect world, okay? Now let's move on to the problem, okay? And the problem that I identified is that a lot of these AI agencies use Instagram and TikTok as their main form of marketing, or they still are stuck with those conventional methods of outreach like cold email and cold calling, which hardly works nowadays. So the problem with that is that they're booking in leads who have already been pitched to multiple times, and the reason they cannot scale is because those are hard to close leads, okay? And the solution that I provide is that I use LinkedIn, where a lot of their ICP already is, but they haven't been sold to properly. They probably saw a post or two about it, but they haven't really drove towards that solution, right? And what I do is that I create high quality content and send targeted DMs to their exact ICP. Now, high quality content can be something like a lead magnet post, and a lead magnet post in a nutshell is practically you make a post on LinkedIn, and within that post you attach a resource, and you tell them, if you want this valuable resource, you need to comment this word and I'll send it over. And the resource could be something like how to grow from 0 to 1,000 LinkedIn followers in 30 days. It can be anything that has some form of value to it that you give away in exchange for a comment, okay? And then sending targeted DMs to their exact ideal clients, which will close majority of the meetings. That's the solution that I provided. And now let's move on to my exact offers, okay? I have two typical offers. The first offer is guaranteed X amount of high quality calls within 45 days, or we work for free until we achieve them. The thing I love about this offer is that there's no money back guarantee, right? So let's say you're a beginner in the agency space and you sign your first client. You won't know how to properly fulfill your service, right? Because it's your first time doing it. And the issue with having a money back guarantee, for example, is the second that money gets in your hands, you're gonna go spend it all, right? You're gonna buy yourself a MacBook, you're gonna go do all this shit, and you won't have the money. And let's say, God forbid, you fail to fulfill the service for them, you're gonna be obligated to give them the money back, money that you don't have. So it's just way more riskier. And having something as simple as we will generate you 30 plus qualified meetings within 45 days, or we work for free until we achieve them, it's the best option, because you're gonna, let's say you don't even fulfill the service for them, you're still working for them for free, right? You're still developing the skills needed, you're still developing ability to fulfill your service by working for them. And in turn, that'll benefit you monumentally when you close up more clients and you have a larger client base, right? And then my second offer is guaranteed X ROI, return on investment, within 90 days, or we work for free until we achieve them. Again, this right here, I love this, right? And then the guaranteed, let's say we guarantee you an extra $5,000 in pipeline value within 90 days, or an extra $10,000 per month coming in within 90 days. And if we do not fulfill that, we'll work for free until we achieve that. And so that's the offer. Now, let's move on to the pipeline. Now, the pipeline is basically the entire journey from a viewer to a lead to a prospect, then a prospect to a book call, and a book call to a fucking, client, right? And the pipeline consists of attention. Now, the attention is either the post or outbound sending. Now, outbound sending consists of newsletter emails and warm DMs. Now, newsletter emails, you can get their emails using some simple strategies. And then you can start sending out emails about updates in your offer or breakthroughs you made with the LinkedIn algorithm, stuff like that, to push them to book a meeting with you. And you can also be talking about client results and results for yourself, right? Stuff that'll make them want to book a call with you. And the warm DMs is also where a majority of the money is made, and a majority of the meetings are booked, because the thing about warm is that they're already aware of you. They're aware of the solution you provide. They just need that final push, right? And let's say for example somebody engages on your post and they connect with you, right? You can say something as simple as, hey, thanks for connecting, did you need anything in particular, or did your finger slip? Haha. It's very open-ended, it's not pitchy whatsoever, so the likelihood of you getting a response is very high, right? And let's say how I was speaking about before with the lead magnet posts, right? Somebody comments under your post for a resource, you can send them a comment, or you can send them a DM saying, hey, thanks for commenting under my post. Here's the resource as promised. By the way, are you currently utilizing LinkedIn to generate more qualified booked meetings? And then from there, you converse with them. And if they seem like a good fit, you ask them some qualifying questions and then you book a meeting with them. Now that's newsletter emails and warm DMs. Now let's move on to the exact funnel, okay? Now my funnel consists of a landing page and then qualification questions and then a simple warm up, okay? Now let's walk through this live. Right? So let's say my clients click, or my leads click on the link in my bio, okay? They'll get sent to a landing page. Now, obviously, this is my LinkedIn profile, and the link doesn't send you to a calendar form. It instead sends you to a Whop Group, which me and my business partners developed, and it's completely free. It's full of free resources. It's full of video modules, everything you need to really understand this business model and apply it and actually close your first client, right? Now that's just besides the fact. Let's actually move on to exactly what would happen, right? Now let's say your lead reads your post, okay? They're interested. They come onto your profile and then they click the link. They'll get sent to a landing page, or they'll get sent to a calendar form. And in that calendar form, they can select the date they want to meet with you and then a time as well. Okay, and then when they select the date and time, boom, they're booked in, and then you send them a warm-up. And then the warm-up could be something as simple as a VSL explaining, like for example, my business partner's VSL here, which was a part of our funnel, is how he scaled one of our students, Ethan, from 1.2k to $10,000 per month within 1 month, which is fucking insane, right? So it's a very good VSL. And these images also represent the exact walkthrough of the pipeline. So you can see here, this is the landing page. Then they get sent to the booking form, and within the booking form they get sent to the calendar page, and then within the calendar page they can answer qualification questions within a form, and then from that they get sent to the VSO, right? So it's very optimized, it's frictionless. And now you might be thinking, oh, Kamel, does this really work, bro? Like, I don't know, it doesn't really seem like you fucking goon. All right, let me show you some client results. Now let's look at one of my clients here, Sam Arami. I grew him to more than 8,000 followers. And then let's look at my business partner here, Sayed. I helped him grow to more than 12,000 followers, nearly 13,000. And then Roberto H. Luna helped him grow to more than 44,000 followers. And then over here, generated thousands of comments, hundreds of thousands of impressions. Over here as well, from just 3 posts, I generated more than 200,000 impressions. And you can see here, 1,000 comments, 500 likes, and then over here, 236,000 impressions from just 1 post, and more than 2,000 likes. And these are all lead magnet posts. So all of these are leads that are ready to be converted into book calls that you can make a shit ton of money off of, right? Over here as well, nearly 200,000 impressions. And if we come over here, I've generated all my clients combined more than $2.3 million in pipeline value. And I myself booked a shit ton of sales calls, like a shit ton of sales calls. I was on calls every day, right? And cash collected nearly $90,000 within the span of, I believe, 4 months over here. So you can see this shit really does fucking work, right? It's a completely untapped business model. I don't hear anybody else talking about it. Literally, me and my business partners are the only people even posting about this. And if you want to know more, I have a whole free Whop group. The link is in the description of this video. You can go check it out. Go check out some of the free resources. But thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I hope you last a little longer in bed.